There are words a man should never speak. Secrets so small yet so dangerous that once revealed, they can shatter the way she sees you forever. Most men don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're building trust, creating closeness. But in that very moment, they're killing attraction. This is Stoic Reflections, and here, we don't waste time with easy lies. We expose the hidden truths most men will never hear, the unspoken rules that decide whether she admires you or quietly loses respect. But here's the catch. What you're about to hear isn't obvious. It's subtle, invisible, and that's why it destroys men silently. One careless confession, one misplaced word, can plant doubt in her mind forever. If you've ever wondered why she pulled away, why her respect faded, why her eyes no longer looked at you the same, the answers are right here. Stay with me until the end, because one wrong move can ruin everything. But one shift in how you carry yourself can make you unforgettable, untouchable, and respected for life. The first secret you must never reveal is your deepest insecurity. The world tells men, open up, be vulnerable, share everything. But here's the truth. That advice kills attraction. She won't tell you this. She'll smile, she'll hug you, she might whisper, I understand. But deep inside, something shifts. Respect begins to fade. Think of Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome. He carried the weight of an empire, while writing his darkest doubts in his meditations. But he never spoke them to the world. Why? Because a man must conquer himself in silence before he can speak with authority. Now imagine you confess, I'm scared of losing everything, or I don't feel good enough. You think you're building closeness, but in her mind, you've planted a seed of doubt, and that seed grows until the day life tests you both. Then, instead of a rock she can lean on, she remembers the cracks you showed her. Strength is not about having no fear. Even Leonidas, standing with 300 men against the Persian Empire, felt fear. But did he confess it? Number. He carried it silently. He showed only courage, and men followed him into battle. Your insecurities are not for her to carry. They are for you to conquer. Tell them to your journal, to a mentor, to your own reflection, but never to the woman whose respect you want to keep. Seneca said, man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them. If you frame your struggle as a challenge, you inspire her. If you frame it as weakness, you lose her. So ask yourself, do I want relief for a moment, or respect for a lifetime? Because one careless confession, one slip of the tongue, can change how she sees you forever. The second secret you must never reveal is the full truth about your past with women. She will ask, how many girls have you been with? Tell me about your exes. And in that moment, most men make the fatal mistake. They answer. Here's the trap. If the number is high, she sees a player, a man who can't be loyal. If the number is low, she questions your experience, your desirability, your value. Either way, the truth will be twisted against you. Epictetus said, control what you can, accept what you cannot. You cannot control her reaction, but you can control what you reveal. Think of Julius Caesar, known for his conquests, in war and in love. Do you think he bragged to Cleopatra about every woman in his past? Of course not. A wise man lets his presence, not his past, define him. When she asks, it's not about the facts, it's a test. She's not looking for numbers, she's looking at your frame. Will you fold, or will you hold? The right move is not honesty, it's mystery. Redirect with strength. Say, enough to know what I want, and wise enough to know what I won't settle for. That answer gives her nothing. No weapon to use, only intrigue. Marcus Aurelius lived by virtue, not for approval. Follow the same law. Your past women are irrelevant. Your actions today are what matter. So the next time she leans in with that curious smile and asks, "How many girls have you been with?" remember this. Respect doesn't come from confession. It comes from discipline, from silence, from mystery. And mystery is the fire that keeps attraction alive. The third secret you must never reveal is the full truth about your money. Listen carefully. This mistake has destroyed more men than betrayal or heartbreak. She will test you. "So, how much do you make?" And most men, desperate to impress or to be honest, hand over the truth. But here's the danger. If you say you earn little, she may see you as limited, a man without ambition. If you say you earn a lot, her expectations rise. Now you are measured only by what you can provide. Either way, you've just put yourself in a box. Seneca said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." True strength isn't in the number. It's in your control, your direction, your vision. Think about it. If a king told his enemies exactly how much gold was in his treasury, how long before they plotted to take it? The same rule applies here. When you reveal the exact value of your wealth, you give away your leverage. Do you think Rockefeller or Elon Musk sat across from women listing numbers? Number. They let their mission speak louder than their money. Presence, vision, direction. That's what attracts. When she asks, don't turn it into a confession. Redirect with power. Say, "Enough to handle what matters," and focused on building more. That answer shows strength, control, ambition, and it keeps the mystery alive. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself never to flaunt possessions, because greatness isn't measured by what you own. It's measured by what you command within yourself. So guard your crown, protect your treasure. Let her feel your discipline with money, not your bank balance. Because once you reveal your number, respect turns into calculation, and calculation kills attraction. The fourth secret you must never reveal is the fear that lives inside you. Every man feels it. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing status, fear of being alone. But once you hand those fears to her in words, everything changes. She may hug you, she may whisper, "It's okay." But deep inside, something breaks. Respect. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome through plague and war. Do you think he had no fear? Of course he did. But he never confessed it to the world. Instead, he wrote in his Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." He turned fear into discipline, into strength, into silence. Now picture this. You tell her, "I'm scared of losing my job," or "I'm afraid I won't succeed." She may comfort you today, but that image of your fear will stay in her mind forever. And in the storm, she won't see the man she can lean on. She'll see the cracks you confessed. Why were the Spartans admired? Not because they had no fear, but because they never spoke it. They carried it into battle. They let courage speak louder. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." When you speak your fear, you plant your imagination into her mind. And now she fears with you, instead of trusting you. So what do? Write it down, face it, conquer it, but never unload it on the woman who looks to you for strength. Because in her eyes, your silence in fear is power. And the moment you trade that silence for comfort, you trade her respect for doubt. The fifth secret you must never reveal is how other women have betrayed you. Most men think honesty will earn sympathy. They confess, "My ex cheated on me," or "Women have used me before." But here's the truth. Instead of pity, it creates doubt. She begins to wonder, if other women didn't value him, why should I? Your pain doesn't inspire her loyalty, it stains her image of you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you drag betrayal into your present, you carry your wounds forward. And a man who wears his scars like a badge looks less like a warrior and more like a victim. Think of Alexander the Great. He was betrayed by friends, by generals. But did he stand before his men and weep about deception? He rose taller, he learned, he conquered forward. That is why he was unstoppable. So let me ask you, when you tell a woman about your betrayals, does she see a conqueror who overcame, or a man still bleeding from wounds of the past? Seneca warned, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them." You waste life by reliving old betrayals. You waste respect by retelling old pain. She does not want to compete with your ghosts. She wants to feel you buried them long ago. So stop giving life to the women who wronged you. Betrayal is not your story to repeat. It is your lesson to master. A respected man is not the one who cries about betrayal. He is the one who walks forward, as if betrayal never touched him at all. Because the moment you make her carry your wounds, you lose the image of strength. And once that image is gone, attraction dies. The sixth secret you must never reveal is where you are weak. Every man has battles, addictions, lack of discipline, the habits that own him instead of him owning them. But the moment you confess them to a woman, something shifts. She may smile, she may hug you, but deep down, her respect begins to die. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not about breaking chains in the world. It's about breaking the chains inside. Think about Winston Churchill. He battled crippling depression, his black dog. But did he confess it to the public? Did he parade his weakness before the nation? He carried it in silence and led with strength through war. Your weakness is not her burden. It is your battlefield. And until you conquer it, speaking of it only brands you as helpless. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That's the Stoic law. Don't tell her where you stumble. Show her where you stand. Because when you say, "I can't control myself," or "I always fail at this," you etch an image of defeat into her mind. And that image doesn't fade. Women are drawn not to perfection, but to direction. To men who fight their battles in silence and return stronger. Not to men who bleed their wounds out loud, hoping for comfort. So here's the law. Keep your weakness private until it has become a scar of victory, not a wound still bleeding. Because once you expose the chains that still bind you, she won't see strength, she'll see helplessness. And helplessness is the fastest way to kill attraction. The seventh secret you must never reveal is your doubt as a man. Every man feels it. Am I good enough? Am I making the right moves? Do I have what it takes? But the moment you voice that doubt to her, a crack appears. She may not show it right away, but slowly, her faith in you begins to fade. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He knew doubt was fuel, not a confession. Great men turn doubt into fire. Small men turn it into conversation. Picture this. A general stands before his army and whispers, "I'm not sure we can win." What happens? The men hesitate, and hesitation kills. The same is true with women. When you tell her you doubt yourself, you make her hesitate in believing in you. She doesn't want your confessions. She wants your certainty. She wants to feel your presence, even when you're still figuring things out in silence. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Doubt grows when spoken, but it shrinks when faced head-on. So what's the path? A Stoic man admits his doubts in private and transforms them into strength. He never hands them over to the woman he leads, because once you reveal your uncertainty, you don't just lose her trust, you lose the very image of strength she was drawn to. So remember this: never hand her your doubt, hand her your resolve. Now you see the truth. There are 7 secrets no man should ever reveal, because once you do, she will never see you the same again. It's not about lying, it's about protecting your strength, your mystery, your respect. Marcus Aurelius mastered his fears in silence. Leonidas carried his doubts into battle without a word. Seneca turned pain into wisdom, never into weakness. That's the path. Women do not respect men who confess every wound, every fear, every weakness. They respect the man who fights those battles in silence, who carries himself with discipline, who becomes the rock they can lean on when the storm comes. Remember this: silence is power, mystery is magnetic, self-mastery is irresistible. This is Stoic Reflections, and if you're ready to sharpen your edge, to rise above weakness, and to command respect in a world that keeps trying to break it, then don't just watch, subscribe, because what you've heard today is only the beginning, and the next truth I reveal might be the one that changes everything.